side-eyeing Macy's messy, sneaky behavior, his own mother stepped in and said, "Let me tell y'all the actual truth, baby. This ain't just drama, full-blown gloves off." Exposed because according to these fresh receipts, and he wasn't just playing in Yandy's face, he was playing in everyone's face. And now Yandy has finally, I've had enough of the divorce rumors, and if what's being stated is true, sis is ready to take everything on her way out. So what did M's own mother reveal? What receipts did she bring? And most importantly, why is Yandy truly done for good? Oh baby, this tea is hotter than let's get into it, yo. This drama just keeps getting worse by the second. So M's mom went off on him, and let me tell you, it was not PR. Are talking full-blown gloves off, no holds bar dragging. And if that wasn't enough, whispers are emerging that his picture-perfect marriage with Yandy hanging by a thread, so strap up because they're going to break this all the way down. Here's the squad, and Mendeecees and Yandy have been flexing that power duo for years ago. They behaved as if they were the model for ride-or-die partnerships. But behind closed doors, things are looking quite different. And guess who? Mama Judy has never been able to control her mouth. But this time she blew her son out so terribly that the internet had to halt and say, wait, what? According to sources, aka the internet streets, Mama Judy has been feeling some sort of way about how M's been treating her. Purportedly, she's been out here suffering while he's out here enjoying luxury travels with Yandy playing family goals. And apparently, she had enough and made it be known that she felt insulted, unloved, and essentially tossed to the side like an old love and hip-hop plot. But wait on, because it gets worse. Rumor on the street is that this whole scenario exploded when Mies reportedly refused to aid his mother financially. Yes, the same guy who was posting luxury clothing and extravagant trips apparently told his own mother she had to sort it out on her own. And wow, the internet went wild. The comment section turned into a battleground. And some people were like, he's a grown man, he doesn't owe her. While some were straight out stating how you treating Yandy like a queen yet got your mother out here suffering. Let's backtrack real fast, because this ain't the first time he and his mom have been at odds. Recall back when he just came out of jail and they had that little uncomfortable talk. On Love and Hip Hop, Mama Judy has been outspoken about how she believed Yandy was continually wanting to push her out of Mem's life. And now she says Chela was utterly done with both of them. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Yandy stepped in, and you knew she wasn't going to sit. After letting the world drag her guy without saying anything, she turned to Instagram and published a cryptic remark about loyalty and how some people will attempt to tear a family apart out of spite, although she isn't naming names. But let's be honest, everyone knew who she was talking about. And this is when, instead of simply letting everything blow over, Mom and Judy struck back forcefully, effectively saying Yandy was controlling and manipulative. Had Mrs. wrapped around her tiny finger, and listen, she did not hold anything, even hinting that there is some problem in paradise between M and Yandy. And that if people genuinely knew what was happening on behind closed doors, they would understand that everything is not as great as it seems. Keeping up, since this is a lot, but it gets worse because now M's baby mother just walked into the conversation and sis arrived with receipts. And trust me, what she stated, it just brought a whole new dimension to an already weird issue. Let's speak about Samantha, M's other baby mother, since you already know she wasn't. Samantha and Yandy B have been battling for years about co-parenting and Mem's not being there for his other kids. And now she's stepping in to remind everyone that she's been telling Mez wasn't all that. Sis went to social media and dropped a few subtle jabs. You know the sort when they pretend like they're just chatting in general, but actually they're coming for someone particular. Yes, one of these she posted. Discuss how some women believe they won since they received the ring, but they don't aware they signed up for a lifetime of lies, which was direct for Yandy's neck, and everyone knew it. And y'all already know the blads went wild. The comment section was out of control, with some individuals thinking Samantha was just resentful, but some said she was leaking facts, and maybe she is since the timing of the events doesn't line up. Yandy and N have been out here acting all joyous, but then Mother Judy and the baby mother are both yelling out something is not right just behind the scenes. And don't forget that interview. M recently confessed that if the rules had been reversed, he wasn't sure whether he would have held Yandy down the way she did. Down when he was in jail, baby when the footage leaked. The internet dragged him. People were calling him ungrateful, claiming he never genuinely loved Yandy like that, and she was out here performing wife duties for a guy who wasn't even totally dedicated. And now that Mama Judy is putting him on blast, Yandy, is this truly your king? From where we're seated, the foundation looks to be extremely unsteady. And let's not forget that anytime drama like this comes out, there's usually more under the surface, as Mama Judy stated Sissine have been keeping everything in for a minute. So if she's finally letting it all out now, it means that things must be horrible behind the scenes. So the question is, what's next? Is DC going to clap back at his mama? Will Yai keep pretending everything is fine? And most importantly, are we about to see another love and hip-hop reunion brawl over all this nonsense? Because baby, it is delivering straight-up reality TV gold, and trust me when I say this is just the beginning of the drama. Since the way things are evolving, I have a feeling we are about to witness a much greater test leak very soon, and guess I got all the specifics coming up in the next section. Because baby, this scenario just got even messier, and when you thought things couldn't get more messier, here comes Judy, ready to disrupt the whole foundation of my and Yandy's so-called perfect marriage. Because let's be honest, wherever there's drama, you can depend on a reality TV mama to ramp up the heat. And Judy, well, she ain't playing so image. This Judy jumps on and goes off instead of being helpful, loving like a mother. And by off, I mean the lady pouring tea as if her life depended on it. She's throwing clues about how many DCS aren't as committed as he says. Yandy is out here playing home for the cameras. And don't forget the classic I tried to warn you all. Oh, we love a mother who suddenly recalls everything. The red flags when things hit the fan. Now at this time, the comments are going crazy. People are gobbling this up like it's their last meal. All Judy remarked that knew Yandy and many were phony. Judy needs her own reality show. And listen, I wouldn't be upset about it since the lady understands how to captivate an audience. But gets worse, recall how Mess was out here acting like he died for Yandy, stating he was a different guy. According to Judy, that man is still the same Mess. Judy begins to insinuate that maybe he's been walking out on the streets with a nicer outfit and a little social media training. Yandy and baby, when I tell you the internet erupted, and here's where things move from bad to catastrophic. Instead of shutting off this disaster, the monarch who went on that reality TV platform and promised to safeguard his marriage has suddenly ran out of words. And let me tell you something, when a guy stays quiet in the thick of charges, it's never a good indication. Yandy, on the other hand, is out here doing what works best, twisting the narrative, goes on Instagram and writes cryptic things like developing and safeguarding your peace. But sis, the people want answers, not Instagram poetry. And just when we thought we have a pretty little PR cleaning, Judy decides she's got more to say in her next life. Doesn't just double down, but triples down. She straight out claims that Mess has been creeping around, and Yandy knew but kept it hush-hush to keep there. But the way my mouth hit the floor, because let's be honest, Judy may be messy, but she ain't stupid. She's been around this guy her entire life. M's detected cheating, Judy spills the beans, and Yandy covering up another scandal. Even the shadow runes and gossip sites who usually ignore Yandy are saying, yes lady, this isn't looking good. And let's talk about that brand for a second. Yandy and Mendeecees off this picture-perfect love tale, the power couple, the ride-or wife, the remorseful street dudes become family men. It's their whole identity. So if the public discovers out it's just smoke and mirrors, oh baby, the empire collapsed. And you know how fast the business turns on individuals when the illusion fades. Yet just when you think we've struck the peak of the hysteria, here comes the true bombshell. Since it's not only about infidelity, and Judy is hinting at something much worse, she begins referring to the notion that Mendeecees could have been messing with someone a bit too close to home. And when I tell you the timeline got ridiculous, like the streets were already been straight up wildfire, so everyone is now rushing to find out who this mystery lady is, and you know how the internet works. Once they get a small clue, they transform into full-blown detectives. Speculations are flying left and right. Some believe it's a close family member, and then there are others who are certain it's someone from the love and hip-hop world. And if that's true, a few of you already know this is going to grow from horrible to full-fledged career-ending catastrophe discussion about money, because Yandy and Miz are more than just reality TV stars. They are a brand with commercial sponsorships and speaking engagements, and let's be honest, no business wants to be connected with a terrible tale like this. If these claims are accurate, they will lose a few of sponsorship agreements, business possibilities missed, and the ideal marital image damaged. But just when you think things can't get much worse, Judy makes one final game-changing revelation, claiming to have evidence. Whether she has or not is uncertain, but the fact that she even says that is enough to push the internet into a full meltdown. And guess who remained quiet throughout all of this? There was no post, no comment, not even a feeble, half-hearted denial. And if we've learned anything about public crisis, it's that silence speaks louder than words. But before we get into what happens next, believe me, it gets much wilder. Let's take a time to comprehend all we've seen so far. We began with the tiny mother-in-law Shay, and now me in possible adultery, a falling empire, a scandal that might destroy numerous careers, and let me tell you, the internet is not letting this go. But hang on, because things are going to take a turn that no one expected, because if you thought Judy was the only one exposing secrets, sweetheart, you are not ready for what's coming next. Judy is going to undermine the whole structure of men's and YY's so-called blissful marriage, because let's be honest, if there's tension, you can depend on a reality TV mama to turn up the heat. And Judy, well, she ain't playing, so image this. Judy hops on L instead of keeping it charming like her. She goes off as a helpful, concerned mother, and by off, I mean pouring tea like her life depended on it. M's ain't as committed as he says. Yandy is out here playing house for the cameras. And let's not forget the classic "I attempt to warn you all." Well, we love a mother who suddenly recalls all the red flags after things hit the fan. Now the comments are going while admirers are gobbling this up like it's their last supper. Judy stated that "I knew Yandy and M were phony. Judy deserves her own reality show, and listen, I wouldn't be unhappy about it. The lady understands how to captivate an audience." But it gets worse. Remember how Mrs. was out here acting like he died for Yandy, that he was a Judy believes that the altered guy is still the same man from the street, but with the nicer clothing and some social media training. Starts implying maybe he's been walking out on Yandy and baby. When I tell you the internet erupted, and here's where things go from terror, catastrophic messes. Instead of putting this mess down and sticking by his wife Puss, what went silent? Yes, the guy who had so much to say about fidelity stood on that reality TV platform and swear to safeguard his marriage suddenly ain't got no words. And let me tell you something, when a guy falls mute in the midst of claims, it's never a good indication. Yandy, on the other hand, is out here doing what she does best, spinning the narrative. She goes on Instagram and posts strange platitudes about progress and preserving your peace. But sis, the people want answers, not Instagram poetry. And just when we thought we'd get a nice little PR aftermath, Judy thinks she has more to say in her next life. Judy doesn't just double down, but triples down and says that Mrs. has been creeping about and that Yandy knew, but kept it hush-hush to protect their brand few. My mouth hit the floor because, let's be honest, Judy may be sloppy, but she ain't stupid. She's been around this guy her whole life. If anybody knows his real ways, it's her. At this time, the internet is on fire and blogs are flowing, with headlines like "M's found cheating, Judy spills the tea," and "Is Yandy hiding up another scandal?" Even the shaving rooms and gossip sites typically give Yandy a pass are like, "Yarrow, this ain't looking good." And let's speak about that brand for a second. Yandy and Men's have made it off this. Picture ideal love tale, the power couple, the ride-or-die wife, the redeemed street guide, become family man. It's their whole identity. So if the public finds out that it's just smoke and mirrors of baby, the empire crumbling, and you know how quickly the business turns on individuals when their illusion fades. But when you consider we've reached the top of the Lumicene, now comes the actual surprise. Since it's not just about adultery anymore, Judy is hinting at something far worse. Begins referring to the possibility that Mendeecees could have been fooling with someone a little too close to home. And when I give you the timing, the streets were already hot, but after that straight up wildfires. So now everyone is racing to discover out who this mystery lady is, and you know how the internet works once. When they receive a tip, they transform into full-fledged investigators. Theories abound. Some claim it's an ex, while others believe it's a close family member. Then there are individuals who are confident it's someone from the love and hip-hop realm. And if that's true, a handful of you already know this is going to happen. Terrible to full-fledged career-ending catastrophe. And speaking of professions, let's talk about the money, because listen, Yandy and I are more than simply reality TV stars, are a brand with corporate sponsorships and speaking engagements, and let's face it, no firm wants to be associated with the catastrophe. If these charges are true, endorsement contracts and commercial chances will be lost. That is the ideal couple image. Shattered, but just when you think things can't possibly go much more out of hand, Junie drops one more game-changing revelation. She claims she's have evidence now. Whether she truly does or not, who knows? But the fact that she's even